Have you ever known anyone whose life is just falling apart, but their social media makes it seem like they're living in the best era that they've ever had? I know some people like this who are really struggling, but you wouldn't know it by by what they're posting on social media. You see, life often pushes us to just put our best self forward. And so on social media, we see things, we see cars, we see houses, we see vacations, we see amazing relationships with people, but we don't often see the other side of what's going on. We don't see the difficulty. We don't see the massive debt people are in. We don't see the death, the divorce, all the things that are going on in people's lives. And really, we all have private lives. We have public lives, things that we push out for others to see, and we also have private lives. And I think it's wise that we don't put everything out on social media, because social media is a place where a lot of people go and look to find out more about you. You know, if you're trying to get hired for a job right now, I guarantee they're going to go out and look at your social media. If you're trying to find someone to date right now, I guarantee you they're going to look at your social media to see if you're someone they actually want to be with. And so it is wise to not put all of our fears and all our failures and our flaws out on social media. But I do think it's important that we look at and identify those things within ourselves. It's important for us to be real with ourselves. About a year ago, my wife for many months had been, not my wife of many months, but my wife for many months has been telling me to start asking for help with things. You know, I would do stuff around the house. I would go to the store and get something big or ridiculous. And she would say, you need to start asking for help. Why don't you ask me for help? Why don't you ask your friends for help? And I just thought to myself, like, I don't need help. I can do this stuff myself. I don't need to bother anyone else with my help. Well, fast forward a few months after she'd been telling me this, it's Black Friday. We had been looking for a new mattress. We had a queen size mattress and we were moving to a king size mattress, and we were getting a purple mattress. And if you don't know purple mattresses, they're amazing. I love them, fully support them, but don't move them yourself, because I now affectionately call Black Friday Back Friday. And that's because I hurt myself really bad. And I decided I was going to get our mattresses all set up by myself to surprise my wife, so that when she came home, everything would be ready to go. And so after fighting and wrestling these very heavy mattresses, they're like close to 200 pounds, up and down the stairs, I laid on the bed and I couldn't move. I had shooting pain down my back, down my leg. And within a week, the pain had gone so far down my nerves that half of my right foot had gone numb. All because I couldn't within myself say I needed help. And so it's important for us to be real with ourselves, because the truth is, I wasn't as young as I was before. You know, sometimes it feels like we're still teenagers, but we're actually older than we used to be. You know, I'm not as fit as I used to be, although I'm not that fit that long ago either. I'm not a very fit person in general. I'm working on it though. And also, I'm not a burden to other people when I ask them for help. You know, I have friends, I have family, I have people in my life that care about me, that want to help me and be with me. And I'm not a burden on those people. And if I had been real with myself about all three of those things, I wouldn't have spent months recovering. I wouldn't have spent lots of money at physical therapy, trying to get myself better. And so I had to pay the price and learn things the hard way because I wasn't being real with myself. I was blind to my own need for other people. And looking back on it, I am glad that it happened, partly because I am better now, and the Lord healed me through an amazing physical therapist and time. But God taught me a lot of things in that time, and He really brought me so much closer with my wife. And I learned how deep her love ran for me through me being forced into a situation where I couldn't do things myself. He's taught me to rely on others more than I ever have before. And it reminds me of a story that Jesus once told about a man who was trying to help his friend who had something small in his eye, get it out of his eye, but the man who was trying to help had this giant plank in his own eye. And that was a story that I relate to because that's pretty much what I just did in this story. I am so quick to help other people and go and give my time and my energy to help them, but I'm so slow to ask for help and to rely on others. And so I want to challenge you. What is your story where you have a plank in your eye? Is there an area in your life that you're blind to, an area in your life where you're faking it and not living out of the truth of who you are? I want to challenge you to sometime this week, maybe even right now, if you have time, to sit down and think about what are the areas of your life where you have a plank in your eye. And it might be hard to identify those things because often we are blind to them. And so I would encourage you, if you're going to embark on this exercise, why don't you invite someone else into it, someone that you're close with, that knows you, who can speak truth into your life. If, for example, if I would have listened to my wife, I probably wouldn't have hurt my back that day. And so I want to encourage you guys to be real with yourself because it's worth it. When you're real with yourself, you get to experience freedom. Freedom to not be perfect, freedom to let God use you in your imperfection, and really freedom to live out what Jesus says, and that is that the truth will set you free.